Henry Tungu. I want to greet you all and thank you for watching UBC. As always, this program is proudly sponsored by the National Medical Stores. Are you HIV positive with an HIV negative partner? We are going to understand what this one means. HIV discordant couples represent an important target population in HIV prevention, and I think this is based on evidence. With me, I have two experts in this area, Dr. Felicity Petua Nahataba, who is a medical services manager at Mbuya Reach Out. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, doctor.
I also have, together with Felicity, we have Grace Nambiru, who is a counselor also from Mbuya Reach Out.
Florence Awo.
Oh, she's going to change. Tell me your names. I think I'm changing the names.
Good evening, viewers.
Yeah?
You're welcome to the show.
What's your name again?
My name is Florence Awo,
Awo.
a counselor at Reach Out Mbuya.
Okay. I apologize for that. Florence Awo, who is a counselor from Mbuya Reach Out. Florence, maybe I'll start with you.
Yes.
Briefly, tell us about Mbuya Reach Out.
Reach Out Mbuya is a community-based organization that has been for long now, since 2001. It is situated within the church, so it is a faith-based organization that handle the less privileged people, especially people having HIV and AIDS. They carry out HIV counseling and testing. They link them to care, and they get care and treatment. And they're also being followed up in their community, where they are, to enforce the family support. We go back, we check on them in the community, encourage the family to take part in the care of the patient. Yes.
Thank you very much. Dr. Nahataba, I hope you don't mind if I call you Felicity.
No, I don't.
We hear about HIV discordancy a lot. Some people understand it, others don't understand it. Kindly throw some light on this. When you talk about HIV discordancy, what do you mean?
HIV discordance, in simple terms, is a couple that is together, is sexually active, and you have one partner testing positive and another testing negative, HIV negative. Through the usual national algorithm, the tests that are provided to the national algorithm.
Okay.
Yes.
So, assuming that, we have two people, we use a testing mechanism that is approved. So one turns out to be positive,
yes,
and one turns out to be negative.
Yes.
How does this happen?
They are different reasons as to why discordance happens.
Okay.
One is that the couple may not actually be having frequent sexual intercourse. They may be having intercourse once a week, or even once a month. The other thing is also getting a new partner. You're HIV positive, you've gotten a new partner, you come to test, one will be HIV negative, one will be HIV positive.
So depending on the timing of
the
when
timing,
you're doing the
yes,
test.
of when you come in to test. There are also other reasons of there are patients who have been seen to have different traits, and from traits, genetic changes in their receptors on their CD4 plus cells that help them actually, despite the fact that they're exposed to HIV, they do not become infected with HIV. And then there are those that are also infected with HIV but are long-term non-progressors. Then we also have in this era right now where everyone who is tested HIV positive has the opportunity to start ARVs immediately as soon as they are diagnosed with HIV. You no longer wait for your CD4 to drop to start you on ARVs. As soon as you're tested, you're started on ARVs immediately. regimens that are potent and are able to reduce your viral load at a much quicker time than the previous ARVs. So your partner is able to achieve a viral suppression, so the chances of them spreading the virus to the negative partner actually reduces markedly.
I don't know if I got right here. You have a person who is HIV positive,
Yes.
but they've taken their medicines well,
Yes. Very
and
well.
they have not been able to transmit to the other partner.
Yes.
So that creates a situation of the other one being negative because they didn't get the disease. Is that
yes.
what you mean to say?
Yes, they didn't get the infection. So once you take your ARVs and you achieve viral suppression of the HIV virus, then
When the virus goes to sleep?
no, not
Yes.
goes to sleep. I
Yes.
think that's a
I have
misinterpretation.
heard people
Yes,
saying that.
yes,
sleeping.
that it's sleeping, but it actually doesn't sleep. It's just that you have very low copies. Depending on what machine is used to measure, some will actually show you that it's a target not detected. Then mean that it's not there, it's there, but in very few copies, probably countable.
Okay.
So your chances of spreading the virus to your partner, your HIV negative partner, is very low. That is the same method that we have also applied to the prevention of mother-to-child transmission, and it has successfully worked. Once a mother is virally suppressed, there are minimal chances of her transmitting the virus to her unborn child.
Florence, you're a
Yes.
cancer.
Yes, please.
But I want to understand this better. We used to hear about VCT, voluntary counseling and testing. And now we're hearing about voluntary testing and counseling. Is that the same thing, or there's a reason why sometimes they say it like that?
Yeah, there is a great reason why they said voluntary counseling and testing, though it still exists. It is a person, now we are talking of a couple. A couple decides that let's go and carry out a test. It is themselves thinking, or a person thinking, let me go and test. Voluntarily, you don't force them.
Okay.
And counseling and testing,
Voluntary
counseling and
testing
testing,
Voluntary
and
testing.
counseling. The
That
couple
is
comes to you voluntarily.
voluntarily and test. And then another one was
Voluntary testing.
counseling, testing and
No,
counseling.
counseling and testing.
Counseling and testing. Counseling and testing, ideally there has been a lot of changes in the trend of these terminologies. There's voluntary counseling and testing, which is the same as today we call it counseling, clients initiated counseling and testing. You initiate it yourself to come and test. Unlike this testing, that is the initiator comes from the
Service
provider. So it is provider counseling and testing, PTICTT.
They keep changing the
They
terminology.
keep changing the terminology.
Okay.
So when it is me who decide for you, like I said, I think I need to test this person coming here because of the presenting complaint that is the person is having, then that is a provider counseling and testing. Or it is me who that go ahead and start talking to you people. It is very important. Now you know you have tested your HIV positive. What about the family? Have you ever tested them? Can we reach the family? It is me who initiated. So it is me, this is the provider
Provider initiated.
initiative, counseling
Okay.
and testing.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Now that you've made it clear, how often do you get to see couples that are discordant?
How often do I get to see couples that are discordant? In fact, HIV discordant couple is still a very common phenomenon that we see. At
Even
least
at
I would
Mbuya
say
Reach
in
Out?
Reach Out Mbuya,
Oh, it's reach out to Mbuya, yes.
per
Okay.
month, at least we have, of the people tested, around at least 3 to 4% of the people who test are HIV discordant. The concordant positive are rather less than the concordant negative. We have concordant negative and discordant couple.
Now you're
the
causing me to get
Okay, I'm
lost.
explaining.
Okay.
A concordant positive couple is when we go, me and my husband, to test. My husband will test HIV positive, me too, I will test HIV positive. That is a concordant positive couple.
Concordant
A concordant
positive couple.
negative couple is me, I test as a wife HIV negative, and my husband test HIV positive. So when the test results vary, me I'm HIV negative, the husband is positive, it becomes a discordant couple, of which is still very common. We have number of them. Of course, those who come are of various couples are people who are having sex together. It can be intending couple already together in the house. So depend on how they come. You know, these days people don't fear the risk of HIV, because me who sit down there, I see them. You cannot just decide to say that now let us first have sex, then we go and test. So people are going to have sex before testing. They go and have sex before testing, and then they go and test. They find that their colleague is HIV what? Positive, while the other one is negative. That one is also a scenario that we have. Otherwise, those who have been in the house together, they're also coming, they have children already, and because at the beginning they never tested, here comes them coming because my partner is ever falling sick, and then when they test, they find that one is HIV positive, another one is negative.
You as a counselor, what has been your experience? For example, you have a couple coming to you, one is positive, one is negative. How do they take that information?
You know, when you are counseling a couple who have come together, you have to give them information before, the possibility of the results. When I'm testing a couple, I said there is 3 possible results that I'm going to get from you now as I test, after first really assessing each of them one by one, because I know your previous tests. Have you ever tested before? So what was the past results that you tested? What about you? Have you ever tested before? Is this the first time you are coming to test together? Some of them are their second test. Some of them is still their first test. In most cases, another one ran to test before the other one. Some of them come because they suspect the colleague, say today we have to go and test, and it is a quarrel in the house. So they come together, and of course when you sit and explain to them before the possible results and what is their take on that results before I present it to you, then they'll tell you their need. Of course, if I found to be HIV positive, I'm going to start treatment. Will you stay with your partner, supposing you are the one who is HIV positive? Will you stay with a negative person? Always they'll say that it is upon her. If it is okay with her, we can stay. But in most cases, when they're in front of you, you say there's no problem, we are going to stay. Then you go ahead and carry out the test. When the test comes the way it is, you explain to them. It is not, all of these people react differently. People react differently. Some of them want to jump and run away. You say, no, let us finish this. I've seen several scenarios. A lady came to me with a boy. Of course, it looks like this lady knew about her condition and never wanted the boy to know. At the same time, she's pregnant. So I made sure that this thing must be known today. Because if you hide it and you are having a baby that is upcoming, it will not be good for that baby.
Oh, yes.
So we have to help this lady accept, and then we disclose the status together. The man said, I have no problem, I'll take care of the child and the mother.
So people get prepared properly.
People get prepared properly before receiving the results. By the time they receive the results, they have made up their informed decision.
Doctor, you said one of the factors contributing to discordancy is having less frequent sex. Did I hear you right?
Yes.
Does that mean that if you have sex less frequently, your risk of getting HIV is low?
Not for every couple, but that is there definitely. If you're having less frequent sex with your partner, then there is that occurrence in that you will not transmit the virus to your partner. But the other conditions that actually put you at risk of getting the virus if you have a current sexually transmitted infection, you will be more prone to getting HIV infections because your the barrier in your vaginal mucosa is broken. It's so the
because
protection.
Of the STD.
Yeah, because of the STD. So you'll be more prone to getting HIV infections, and women are more prone to getting HIV infections than men. So there are quite a number of factors that are in the pool that contribute to this spread of the infection.
The issue of window period.
Yes.
We always talk about that, and I can assure you, many of us don't know that yet. How do you go about that? What is window period?
Window period is the time when your body is mounting a response to this HIV infection. During that time when they test, you may be HIV negative, and you will be HIV negative. So when you seroconvert now is when you will get an actual HIV positive test and an antibody test. So during the window period, the areas that actually put you at risk of infection is maybe the first stage of the HIV infection and the advanced stage. In between there, the latent phase is when your body has actually managed to mount a response, but in the end, the virus will overpower the body, will destroy your immune cells, the CD4 plus cells, and that's when you'll start getting signs and symptoms of HIV.
Okay.
So
I think as you explain this, let's first go for a quick break. And during this break, we want to hear a testimony from a discordant couple, and we'll hear what they have to tell us. We'll be back after the break.
Kyatandika mu kulowooza oluvannyuma lw'okonkolo George. Ekintu kino kyatandika mu kulowooza oluvannyuma lw'okulowooza nga mulimu n'okuwakanya. Jjukira bulungi ffenna twafunagana mu Kampala wano, naye Kampala ng'ogimanyi olusi eba nnungi olusi n'ekaluba, yakalubamu famire n'engizayo mu kyalo. Mukyala wange n'abaana bange nadde mukyali nesigala mu Kampala. Kati ekyandeetera obuzibu kulwala munnange kumpi mu mwezi nga mu nnaku 3 kumpi ennaku abiri abamulwadde, naye nga bulwalwala bampita neŋŋenda nvaayo nenkoma ntateddemuuko ne bampita nenzirayo mu kyalo. Katwe nagenda Kiswa ku ddwaliro wano wegini mu Kampala nenekebeza. Kati nga waliwo omusawo mukwano gwange ne munnyonnyola, omusawo naŋŋamba ni omukyala alwala ki buli kaseera, ne ngamba tibintabudde, naŋŋamba genda bamukebeze. Neŋŋenda ne bamukebera. Olwamukebeza naye si kyentanyonyereza oba naye yali akisuubira talina akawuka oba yali akimanyi tomanyi simanyi. Kaweteesa n'omusawo tukkiriziganya, n'atugyako omusayi ne namuggyako. Results zagenda okukomawo nga bagamba alina akawuka, nga bagamba nzi sirina. Awo ndo kyali kizibu. Ate nze mu kifo ky'okutya ate yatya nnyo.
Omusujja nga gubeera gunnuma buli kaseera, naye bwe banzigyako omusaayi omusawo n'aga nti ndi mulwadde, natya nnyo. Neŋŋamba ngenda kukola ntya? Omwami agenda kungoma, nentya nnyo neŋŋamba ngenda kukola ntya? Ani ananzijanjaba nze? Bazadde bange bamaze okufa bonna, nsigaddewo nzekka. Neŋŋamba n'abeera ntya mu nsi eno? Naye omwami wange ono naŋŋumya, naŋŋamba sijja kukwabulira, nja kubeera naawe. Bukyankizuula ndowooza myaka kuva biri ebiri munnange omwami wange ono simanyi mutima mukama gwe yamuwa kuba omutima gwe nsuubira tegulinga gw'abalala omutima gwe mulungi nnyo yankubiriza n'ekiseera ekyokumira eddagala essaawa we beetuuse nakubuuza omaze okumira eddagala essaawa etuuse ne bwaba taliiwo abeera gyali nakuba essimu naŋŋamba essaawa etuuse ey'eddagala kale ne tugenderawo mu mbeera etyo tasobola kale kwegamba tanjogererangako na kibi kiri awo oba kunnangira oba kukola kino edda sikimuwaayira era asobodde okundabirira mu mbeera eyo emyaka gye tumaze tuzadde abaana baffe 2 mwana eyasooka kati ali myaka 15 naye ye ekirungi ye mulamu ono owokubiri kati alina emyaka 13 ye mulwadde.
Welcome back. This is You Health Chat here on UBC TV. I'm Dr. Dungu, and I am with experts from Reach Out Mbuya, a community-based HIV organization. There have been a number of milestones when you look at the 30 years of HIV globally. And at some point, we'll be going through maybe some of those key ones. But we need to remember that in 2016, the World Health Organization launched guidelines recommending treatment for all people living with HIV. You know, it used to be that when they test and your CD4 count is a certain value, you will not get treatment until when you reach a certain value. But then that was changed, saying that test and treat. We'll talk more about that, but let's go back to discordancy. We have a couple. One is positive, as we've seen, and then the other one is negative. Is this discordancy a permanent situation? That me, I'm negative, the other one is positive, so I don't have to worry? I don't know who wants to answer that. Should I start with you, Florence?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Discordant, I would say, is not a permanent situation and can be permanent. It's not a permanent situation depending on how you handle it. If you have been trained and you know how to handle the discordant situation within you, so you'll know how to protect yourself. In Reach Out Mbuya, we train them. We have emotional training that we do with them. We tell them about HIV discordance. We want them to understand. And knowing it is not enough. It couples with communication in the house. If you don't communicate well, of course, when there is fight, you don't follow the rules you need to follow. It couples with how to take your drugs, especially the positive partner in the relationship. And how they should all be one. The positive should protect the partner, which is negative, not even to get HIV. So it means that the negative also should really know the importance. Avoid alcohol, because when you have alcohol, a lot of things happen. You forget.
Florence.
Yes, please.
If I am negative and my partner is positive, if I got you right, it does not mean that I am immune to getting HIV. Is that right?
You are not immune.
You're
you
not
can
immune.
get HIV.
It's not that my body is too strong to get HIV.
No.
No.
You can still get HIV because you are at a high risk. You have a risk next to you. The positive partner is a risk person next to you. So what we teach them is that the positive should be on treatment and should take his hard drugs very well. So the negative is going to support the positive, take her drug, remind her of the time. Even if the person has gone on safari, said, please, sweetheart, time for drug, did you take your drug? So that if the negative blood viral load is suppressed, he stands a higher chance of still keeping HIV discordant, negative. And on addition to that, the negative should also be encouraged. If he's a negative man, be circumcised. We all know that HIV in a circumcised man has a lesser chance of getting HIV than a non-circumcised man. Coupled to that, they're encouraged to use condom in the house. It is not only because my partner is now taking drugs, I should not use condom. They're encouraged to use condom and use it correctly.
Doctor, what do you have to add?
Yes, once we identify that the couple is discordant, we start you on an optimal antiretroviral regimen.
What do you mean by optimal?
Optimal is a regimen that has been recommended that we see is able to reduce your viral load to what is recommended to non-detectable. And also a regimen that has less side effects for you. You're able to swallow it well, easy to swallow. So we start the HIV positive partner on antiretroviral therapy. And then we also have pre-exposure prophylaxis that we offer to the HIV negative partner. So what this pre-exposure prophylaxis does is we start you also on antiretroviral therapy that is specific to that is recommended by Ministry of Health for pre-exposure prophylaxis, which we call PrEP. So the HIV negative partner starts on PrEP and will take this PrEP until their HIV positive partner has achieved viral suppression of the HIV virus.
Now, Doctor, you have introduced something that is, I think, also captured in the 2016 milestone of WHO when they talked about treating as a way of preventing disease.
Yes.
When you say PrEP, now you have preempted me. There's PrEP and there's PEP.
Yes.
Pre-exposure prophylaxis
Yes, that's
and
PrEP.
post-exposure prophylaxis. What is the difference?
So pre-exposure prophylaxis is where we give a patient, an HIV negative patient, ARVs to prevent them from getting HIV because they are high-risk patient. High-risk patient may be
Discordant.
yes, a discordant couple. Then post-exposure prophylaxis is where a patient, an HIV negative patient, we have confirmed HIV negative, has been at risk, and we give them antiretroviral therapy within 72 hours of the exposure to HIV, to that risk, and we give it to them for a period of 1 month.
So that is post-exposure.
Exposure prophylaxis.
Okay.
The pre-exposure prophylaxis, the PrEP, will give it to the patient until the risk stops. So you take it.
So until when they get a divorce? Or
No.
No, for the discordant couple, it's different. They will take it until their partner achieves viral suppression,
suppression.
their HIV positive partner. Once the HIV positive partner achieves viral suppression, then we take the HIV negative patient off the PrEP. Yes.
is that based on evidence?
That is based on evidence. There have been a lot of studies that have been done, and many of the innovations and guidelines that have been brought in place have been based on studies that have been done within sub-Saharan Africa. So it's within our context. We can refer it to our population, and we've seen that it has worked.
Florence,
Yes.
you are an experienced counselor.
Yes.
Has there ever been a situation where you have a couple that has been discordant and then they turn and they become positive? Have you come across such a situation?
Yes. I think it happened in Reach Out. That is a couple of 5 years now ago. For all these years, we have not experienced, because we test them after every 3 months.
Okay.
For those who cannot come and test with us, we communicate to find out whether they have tested, because we give them a go ahead, make sure you test, so that if they cell convert, we are able to follow it up. So the one that happened, like I said, in 5 years ago, it was well explanatory that it did not follow. First of all, he used to drink. Secondly, he was so much in need of having a child, and they were using unprotected sex. Yeah, openly even told me, I cannot handle this, when the wife was not yet fully suppressed.
So by then, was there no what she talked about?
Yeah, no.
Pre-exposure?
The yeah, there was no pre-exposure by
there
then. By then there was no pre-exposure,
Mm.
and the wife had just started on ARVs, and we gave them the information. But you know, you cannot be in the family bed of someone. Yeah, if someone cannot follow it up, you will follow up with the test, and that is one person I remember, cell convert.
Well, for some of you who have just joined in, this is U-Health Chat here on UBC, and we are discussing HIV discordancy. We have experts from Reach Out Mbuya, and they're taking us through this. By the way, if you have a friend that you wish should know about this, just tell them, tune into UBC. They're going to join this discussion, and then they get to understand what you're talking about. I have learned something. Discordancy does not mean it's a permanent situation. It's only at the time when you're tested that one is positive, one is negative, that you're discordant. But things can change, right?
Can change, yeah.
Can you say that again to the people? Any of you can say it.
HIV discordance is not a permanent situation. The only thing you need to do when you test HIV discordant, you need to follow the instruction. The positive partners should be on ARVs and take the drugs very well. Being on ARVs does not mean just taking it. Take it as prescribed. Take it every day until your viral load is suppressed, and continue taking to make the virus low as possible. That will pose your negative friend to be at low risk of getting HIV. Coupled to that, you need to use condom consistently to help you not get HIV. If none of those things are done, the possibility of the negative partner getting HIV is still there, very high.
That is well explained. I cannot repeat that because you've said it so well. Doctor, people have problems taking medicines.
Yes.
I know they used to take so many, now things have changed. What is your current experience on this? The people you come across?
From
Are
my
there any innovations that are making it easier, or it's still a problem as it has been?
From my experience, there are different reasons that will cause poor adherence to antiretroviral medication. One could be the pill burden. At the time you're diagnosed with HIV, you have other co-infections, you have other comorbidities. So you're taking quite a number of pills for what you have. So at times that discourages patients to adhering to their medication. We have patients who will tell you, I forgot to take my medication. We have patients now who are looking for something to feed their family. So they'll be traveling up and down and will forget to carry their medication along with them. We have patients who it's the side effects of the drug that they will be discouraged from taking their medication. But there are innovations that have been put in place for each of these. One, when we're starting a patient on medication, we ensure that we support them. We do psychosocial support for them at every visit at the clinic. A new patient will come in more frequently than a patient who is stable on antiretroviral therapy. We have expert clients. Reach Out Mbuya, we call them community ART and TB treatment supporters. These are expert clients who come in and support patients on their way. They have been through this, so they know how to support patients. They have been trained on how to support patients to take their ARVs. So they'll check on them in the community. They'll involve them in peer group supports where they can support each other. We've encouraged them to use phone reminders to remind themselves, to use something that is specific, that always happens routine. There are people who always watch news at 10 o'clock, so that can be a reminder. The new drugs now have less side effects. Uganda has, the Ministry of Health has really done a tremendous job with all the funders that are in place, PEPFAR, that they have brought in regimens that are optimal, easy to swallow. Like the first line regimen, it's 1 pill a day.
1 pill?
1 pill a day. So that is easier for patients. It has less side effects. So patients are able to take their medication well and go to work.
Okay.
We have also ensured that for those who are struggling, we help them with pill boxes. We ensure that there's a treatment supporter, someone at home. So when we're doing ARV education, we don't stop at the patient. We ensure that they have a support group around them. It may be a family member, it may be a friend, it may be a workmate, but someone who can always encourage them to take their medication. So that has really helped in ensuring that patients take their medication. When we see that patients are getting side effects, we support them through. If it's worsening, we'll ensure that we put them on a regimen that will be that will have less side effects. So we work with a patient. You don't want to discourage them to get off their medication because they need it to suppress their virus.
Oh, that's very good. Now, again, going back to, let me see. I think before I go to that, the issue of supporting adherence is extremely important, because I have had scenarios where, you know, as health workers, you get a needle stick injury and you're supposed to take post-exposure prophylaxis, and then you get really, really unwell about this. We are going to go for another short break. And during this break, again, want to have an interview or a testimony of another discordant couple and hear what they have to share with us.
Ndi mu kitongole kya security kati lumu mba nva ku mulimu nkuta olugendo lwange oluddayo awaka kati mba ntuuka mu ka center ak'ebbanda ka trading center bayitawo mu Kasenyi ne nsangawo ekitongole ekyali kikebeza omusaayi awo kati ne nsooka ne nnyimira nga ndaba abantu bakuŋŋaanye nga sinaba kutegeera kikigenda mu maaso. Kwe kubuuza abalala bali wabbalibbali nti bano balikola kyawo aba nti abalikebeza musaayi nesooka nenyimira netuna neŋŋamba layini teebe nnene nnyo naafuna obudde obugaa ne buwumula ate nga ŋŋenda kuddamu nkola ekiro kati bwe nalaba nga beegabyemu waliwo abatudde wali abo abatudde wali kinendaba layini nange nenkola ki neŋŋenda kati banzigyako omusaayi ne bagamba nti ne results tugendako temugenda nga temunafuna results zammwe soka nentuulako awo nga bamaze okunzigyako omusaayi mbeera awo era bwe zaafuluma ne batandika okutusoma amannya buli omu ne bamutuuza wali ne bamunnyonnyola ebivudde musaayi era ne bamala ne batuwa n'obupapula kati bwe nkwata olugendo okudda awaka results zimaze okundaga nti balina kye basanze mu musaayi gwange. Nasooka nenfumiitiza nga ngenda kinnyonnyola ntya maama w'abaana nasooka nentyamu naye siriko olunaku olwo saakimunnyonnyolerawo
kale nasooka nentyamuuko ate ye bwe yakiŋŋamba yampisiza wansi naŋŋamba obukeera ku makya nga baŋŋambye nti ndi mulwadde w'akawuka okola otya nemuddamu nemugamba nti nange mba nkalina oba okankwasizza naŋŋamba kijja ekitya mpinza okuba nga ogamba nkukwasizza ngaolusi gwe oba okaleese kati neŋŋenda nemugamba nedda tugende twekebeza aŋŋamba ati ndi lubuto wa mwana first born omuwala mwana kati alina emyaka 16 yazigenda soniya 1 omwaka guno neŋŋenda mu ddwaliro ne batukebeza ebyabakyala omanyi lwoba olubuto era balina okugjako ki musaayi balabe agenda okulaba nga ndi mulamu nebuuza ye lwaki nemugamba nawe tugende ne bamukebeza nga ye muki mulwadde era n'omusawo mujjukira bulungi yampita naŋŋamba nga weetulisizzaako bomu omusajja owuuyo mulwadde gw'oli ki oli mulamu zaala oyo omwana okole ki ogende oyiye obulamu ki obulala nakomawo ono saakimugamba kubanga twali muki munda fembi n'omukyala nsiriikira neŋŋamba obangume obankole ntya era ngera nimu waasiwaasi nga seetegeera bulungi kale kati tutandika okukozesaako obupiira omusaayi nga nfuba neŋŋenda nenkola ki enkebeza kati n'abaana bennyini nga nfuba nemba nti nkebeza ki abaana ngamba singa omwana omu abadde mulwadde nandigambe ndowooza tebakalaba bulabi nga nze mpakanyamuko n'abasawo ngamba balayika balimba ebyuma bifu gyekiri kimuba mukola kuba nti mwekuuma mugerere mu mbeera zammwe n'omwami aleme kuba nti agenda nnyo ng'abuukabuuka n'abalala obanga obuluwa obugamba togatteko olw'okuba oli mulwadde okole ki ogende mu maaso olw'okwendeguza olw'okuba oli ki oli mulwadde ojja kwongeramu akalala akako kajja kuba olusi kalala ogende nfuna ate akalwadde akaki akalala akajja obbakosa ki omubiri gwammwe naye mugira mubeerawo netubeerawo nenzaala omwana ow'okusatu mukaaga owokusatu owokubiri alina 10 owokusatu alina 6 neŋŋamba takanako nekalolalanya neŋŋamba kati obulwadde bufulumidde mu kaana kano neŋŋamba maama era leero luno tuddeyo netuddayo nebekebera akaana tekalina bulwadde kale nfaayo nnyo okuba nti mubuulirira okumubuulirira alina okuliira mu budde lwakuba omubiri gwagaana buganye netuba nti nga tubeeraawo naye ngenda okulaba awuli wengenda okwekebeza nga ki siraba nti oba ndi mulwadde buno nazadde ne bebi wange omulala buno banongosa na bulongoosa
Indeed, it's very, very good for couples to support each other. As you heard from that one, Wadombiri Gwagana, but she supports him to make sure that he eats on time, to make sure that he takes his medicines so that things move on. This kind of support, how do you inculcate that into the people that come to reach out to Mbuya, Doctor?
So for support, when we enroll a new patient into care, one who is HIV positive, we'll start you on your antiretroviral therapy and we'll attach you to a community ART and TB treatment supporter. What we want is to come and do a home visit and engage your family. We shall not force you, but we shall do it at your pace. As we encourage you, we encourage your treatment support and we encourage your family to build that support. We've seen how important it is, how it has helped our patients to thrive. So it's not a one-man's effort, that it's only a counselor who does it. Even when they interact with clinicians, we still emphasize that support, that encouragement. So adherence counseling is not just done by the counselor, it's done by the clinician, it's done by the community health worker to ensure that we create that support and that reliance for our patient to know the health worker has built enough confidence in me to make sure that I can take my medication and have my family to support me.
Okay. Do you get relatively young couples? Maybe Florence, you can help me answer this. You can have a discordant couple, but they want to get a child. There's somewhere where you hinted on it. They want to get a child, but one is HIV positive, the other one is negative. How do you go about that?
That is a big challenge.
They want a baby.
They want a baby, yes, it is a big challenge, but one of our main reasons why we teach these people is to make them know that this is my partner, yes, but this partner is a risk to me at the same time. So we need a baby, and I don't need any other child outside another person, but it is here that I need my baby. So we have to train them still. If you need a baby, first of all, your partner has to take drugs to remain what? The virus to be suppressed.
Okay.
Before take any other chance. Meanwhile, continue with unprotected sex. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be open, that you can try out your chance of having unprotected sex in the view of looking for the what? For the baby. But if you turn HIV positive, it doesn't mean that I did not give the information. The fact that I advise you to take when the viral load is suppressed, it means that that's the best time that because of the low viral load, the chance of you getting the infection is low. So that's why I explained that the other one went so fast. He was so much in a hurry, maybe he thinks that life is going to take me without having a baby. And in the end, he ended up getting what? But all in all, it has to be on their consent they have to consent that, be it what, I have no problem, I need a baby. Yeah.
Now, this baby, how do you protect the coming baby from getting HIV, doctor?
If the wife or the girlfriend or the partner, the female partner is HIV negative,
Okay.
then her conceiving, her baby is protected because she's HIV negative. But if
Say
the
that again.
if the partner is HIV negative, the female
mother.
partner,
The mother is
who is
negative.
yes, she's negative, then
The man is positive.
the man is positive.
Mm.
She has, as long as she ensures that she supports her
negative.
husband in taking his medication and he achieves viral suppression and maintains that viral suppression, then chances of infecting her are low. Even chances of her infecting, because she's not infected, then she will not infect her baby.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But if she is the one who is HIV positive in this discordant relationship and she's expecting, we start her on antiretroviral therapy as soon as we identify she's HIV positive, and she takes those ARVs for life. It's for her health. So once she has achieved viral suppression, the chances of her transmitting it to her unborn baby, even during breastfeeding, is very low. Actually, in Reach Out Tumbuya, of the mothers who we've put through the Prevention of Mother-Child Transmission program, we've had zero babies getting infected from their mothers, either through birth or through breastfeeding. We follow the Ministry of Health guidelines. For those who have given birth, they're able to breastfeed their kids up to a year. So the first 6 months exclusively breastfeeding, and then the next 6 months they wean and do mixed feeding. So as long as they are virally suppressed, their chances of transmitting the virus to their child, to their baby, is really low.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's encouraging. It looks like there are lots of strategies for anything in terms of this. I don't know who can help me on this. You've talked about pre-exposure prophylaxis. If I'm interested in someone and I don't know their status, should I start taking ARVs to prevent?
No. No. You should seek out.
The way someone uses a condom or circumcision, can people start taking ARVs before?
No.
No, you see, taking drugs is not for fun.
Okay.
It is not just you need to take it for fun. The pre-exposure prophylaxis that I think is recommended. First of all, is recommended to people who are at high risk of HIV infection.
Okay.
One of it, of course, being the discordant couples whose partner is not yet having suppressed viral load. Another one, I think, our key other population, like the sex workers.
Okay. Should they take?
Should they have a partner that is for them they are HIV positive, we encourage that partner to take the pre-exposure prophylaxis if they are together.
No, I'm saying like
Because-
sex workers, they don't know who comes in.
Yes, they should take, because they don't know the type of person they are going to.
They're at high risk.
It is their job, so they are at a risk, so they should also protect themselves. But for this other person here who just want to continue with another person, of course, if the person you need is already HIV positive, it is fine. You come for counseling, we encourage the person to take the HIV drugs very well, the ARVs, and remain suppressed, and you become a discordant. But you need to be educated on what you're going to take than going just to start taking drugs without.
And to add on that, for
Yeah.
pre-exposure prophylaxis, we still maintain the same principles. Adherence is key. So yes, so you're not going to take just as a one-off as you go into a sexual act because you don't know if
swallow.
there is a risk.
2
You're
hours,
just
you
doing
swallow.
you swallow. It doesn't work that way. It has to be taken, it has to be consistent for the period of time that you're at risk. So it's not for everyone. And before you even swallow it, why you should go and seek out and do an HIV test with your partner.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. It's a free test. You walk into any government health facility, any private facility, you'd be able to do that test for free, and you know your status. you know where to stand. All the government and private facilities that are providing ART care and treatment have trained counselors, have trained medical workers who will give you the support in case your results are positive. Even for those who are negative, they will still ensure that they give you the right information to ensure that you stay negative.
Okay, so it's not about saying that I think I'll take this 2 hours before the act to prevent HIV. You have to remain consistent.
Yes.
Florence, you know,
Yes,
in a few days it will be World
please.
AIDS Day. The Philebong Retire Day. We have lectures, we have this and that, but we're not going to that. What are your winding up remarks?
My winding up remarks for the public outside there. I am appealing to everyone outside there to test and know themselves. Because if you don't test, you don't know where you are going. As I talk, we still have a lot of people who are HIV discordant in the community outside there. In Reach Out, we have our PMT city mothers. Almost 50% of them, they don't know the status of their husband because they're not disclosing. So you need to disclose to your partner what you are. And especially our men outside there, the men of the women we have around, your wives are getting treatment. Why can't you go and test? At one time also tell the woman, please let us go and test. At least you test once in a year. Not to sit now, you don't know anything, your partner is taking treatment. Please test and know yourself. For those who are HIV discordant outside there, you don't know how to handle it. You are not alone. There are so many people who are HIV discordant. You just need to come to the counselor in all these treatment centers, be it in the government treatment centers, be it in an NGO. There are trained counselors there. They will help you. Don't die alone in the house. And you can still stay together with your partner. Please keep your children. The children doesn't know about your HIV. What they know is mommy and daddy. So please come and get support. In Reach Out, the door is wide open. We welcome you. Anyone who is still suffering with issues to do with HIV, please come. We also have what is called men's clinic. This clinic is for the men who have maybe too busy during the day, who are...
What time do they come?
We do it always on Wednesday in Kenawataka Clinic, from 5 to 10 p.m. That is a humble time for you. After work, come and get yourself treated. Don't die with stigma. Don't hide your drugs for your partner not to know. You need to work together. Thank you so much.
Dr. Nahataba, you're winding up remarks.
To the public out there, we encourage you to ensure that for the couples, you know your HIV status. There are very many centers that test. The doors are open. The test is free. Please go in and test as a couple and know your status. There are ably skilled staff and knowledgeable staff at these centers to treat you. HIV discordance is not the end of the world. There are interventions in place to ensure that you remain discordant and you still live a very fruitful life in your marriage. So please take it at heart and ensure that you come for testing so that you get to know your HIV status.
And how do we get to Mbuya Reach Out? It's actually Reach Out Mbuya.
Yes, it's Reach Out Mbuya.
You know, I have a tendency of thinking that Mbuya should reach out to everyone. It's now Reach Out Mbuya.
Reach Out Mbuya is located in Mbuya 1, right next to Our Lady of Africa Catholic Church that hosts the Mbuya Clinic. We have a clinic in Chinawataka. We have a clinic in Banda. We also have an ART clinic at St. Mary's Health Center in Kasala, Luwero, and drop-in centers. We also have mobile clinics in different areas within Nakawa that provide a comprehensive package for HIV care and treatment.
Well, thank you very much. All of you have been watching UBC. Ending AIDS by 2030 is actually achievable, especially if we get to know our status. I am Dr. Henry Dungu, and up next is UBC Tonight with Patricia.
Thank you.
Was brought to you by Your Health Chart is brought to you by National Medical Stores, who are mandated to procure, store, distribute essential medicines and medical supplies to all public health facilities in the country.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
The spirit of poverty convinces you that your biggest win is when you don't just lose your life. Kirungi nti oli mulamu.
Yes, it's okay.
Naye olina okuba omulamu ng'ate weeyagala ne ssente olina n'abantu obayamba olina ne dreams n'abaana bo bakweyanyumiririzaamu n'ebintu obisobola mu linnya lya Yesu.
You have to have life and significance and have an impact in your life and the lives of others.
Naye abasinga ku ffe,
But most of us,
maybe si wano,
maybe not
abantu
here.
owuliriza eyo,
People who are listening,
setaani akumatiza
the devil
nti
convinces you.
kasita olina obulamu
As long as you're breathing,
wadde obuyiseemu okaaba
though you're crying,
ng'onyigirizibwa,
you're oppressed.
abafudde si bangi,
There are many who have died.
kasita
Anyway.
okyaliwo,
As long as you're still alive,
abali ku bitanda si bangi,
there are many who are bedridden.
katugotudde ku katebe awo.
For you, you're sitting there.
Kankubuulire,
Let me tell you,
obulamu
life
ntandikwa
is a beginning
so si
capital.
kusembayo.
Theo Tours and Travel presents Namadu Festival, the first and ever Bagwere Cultural Festival. Have you heard of the tally of the 7 drums? Come witness the passion for culture and the uniqueness of the Bagwere on the 8th of December 2019 here in Kampala at Katikati Grounds. Come feast on Magiru and Owita as we dance away to the Kogo and Namadu at the first and ever Namadu Festival. Entrance is 10,000 and students 5,000 shillings only, and a table of 5 goes for only 200,000. Bagwere, our culture, our pride. Proudly sponsored by UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
Omweso gwatunda ayolesa Christmas 2019 guguno gugguse ku kisawe kya Nakivubo Bulu Primary School. Jangu wekwata ekifo kyo amangu ddala w'onootundira ebyamaguzi byo ate n'omugatteko gw'ekibuga Kampala ng'ennaku z'omwezi 19 Desemba okutuusa nga 23 Desemba guwagidde.